I think my journey really started when I worked as a textile and apparel designer for the social
Mm,
enterprise called Ant Hill Fabric Gallery, which is also a Cebu-based social enterprise. So I actually
wow.
worked there for, I believe it was close to 5 years. And I feel a lot of my work, and I guess all the sort of decisions that I've made and how to start a business also came from my experience from working at Ant Hill.
Right.
So Anya, the founder, is someone I really admire.
Founders Only is brought to you by PayMongo, the payment gateway for business growth. PayMongo allows your business to accept online payments from customers through Visa, MasterCard, GCash, GrabPay, Maya, online banking, buy now, pay later, and many more, all with just one online platform. Sign up for free at paymongo.com.
And brought to you by GoTime Bank. GoTime Bank is owned by the Gokong Wei Group, the same companies that brought you brands you love like Cebu Pacific, Robinsons, True Value, Toys R Us, South Star Drug, and many more. GoTime Bank makes next-level banking a breeze with its convenient account opening process. It takes less than 5 minutes to get started via the free app. Plus, get your GoTime Bank Visa card at one of their kiosks for free. Download the GoTime Bank app today and experience the next level of banking. You may visit www.gotime.com.ph for more details. The Hustleshare podcast is sponsored by Shoppable Business, your #1 source for procuring products for your business in the Philippines. Discover authentic branded products online. Shop bulk, save big, and secure authentic products with official sales invoices at Shoppable Business today.
Want to build a better future through entrepreneurship? Villgro Philippines is a gender-smart impact incubator supporting startups tackling the toughest social and climate challenges in Southeast Asia. From funding to mentorship, we back purpose-driven founders making real change happen. Visit villgrophilippines.org or email hello@villgrophilippines.org to learn more.
Welcome to the latest episode of Founders Only. I am getting sad because this is the final Villgro episode. I've been having way too much fun. And if you haven't checked the past 3 episodes that we shot in person about all these amazing Villgro founders, please do check it out at our YouTube at Hustleshare and also on Spotify and wherever you listen to podcasts. But today is definitely not the least of all because these are arguably the best in class in what we're doing. But before we get carried away, let's welcome our guests. So in this edition of Founders Only with Villgro, we have 2 amazing ladies, and let's welcome to the show Miss Jessica Ouano of Kinabuhi and Nikki Sevilla of EcoNest. Whoop, whoop. I hope you guys are safe and dry. It's crazy out there. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks so much. Now, again, this show always starts, and this is what I love about doing it with Villgro, because everything is just about, giving back to the community and obviously being sustainable and, of course, profitable at the same time. But before I get carried away, I need to ask you the $1 million question. What's your hustle? So basically, what do you do? Nikki, you go first.
Oh my gosh, a lot. Just kidding.
Okay. Racket ba yan? There you go.
So racket, everyday racket. No. Right now, what we're doing is I'm trying to expand our distribution company called EcoNest Philippines. So mainly, we're carrying sustainable packaging materials. Okay. And then I'm also trying to set up a new location for our factory, and we produce bioplastics, cassava bags in Cebu. Actually, Jessica, maybe I'll see you there. So yeah,
there
that's
go.
Yep. And then we also have a foundation called Philippine Alliance for Sustainable Solutions Foundation, Inc., wherein we try to do different CSR activities with different organizations. And I'm trying to set up like a mentorship program with our other founders. It's quite a lot, but yeah, trying to manage it. And then we're also adding like recycled plastics, aesthetic recycled plastic. So it's going to be under a different brand, so that we can support like different resorts who are looking into using recycled materials for their buildings.
That is amazing. And I want to dissect that one by one later during the
Yeah.
second part. Because again, if you guys are doing so many hustles, that means you're not going to bite more than you can chew. The reason why you do all of this is because you make it work. But before that, I will talk about that origin story. But first, we need to go to Jessica. Jessica, what's Kinabuhi?
Kinabuhi is a fashion brand that creates handcrafted fashion and textiles that work towards regenerating the earth while sustaining livelihoods.
Mhm.
So we co-create with weavers to design culturally rooted yet globally appealing handwoven textiles and apparel. So we currently sell retail fashion and wholesale
Ooh.
apparel and textiles made with upcycled or dead stock materials, as well as Philippine natural fibers such as abaca and Philippine cotton.
That is amazing. And for those of you who's dili bisdak, kinabuhi means in Bisaya, livelihood. There you go.
Yes.
There you
Oh,
see.
oh,
My ancestors are proud of me. Now, before we even talk about your hustles, now we need to go back all the way to how you guys started out because every single hustler had an amazing origin story. Please get ready. I'll only give you 2 seconds to put your makeup on and go all the way back because we will ride a very, very high tech vehicle here. So we go all the way back to talk about your origin story because we're going to have to ride the Hustleshare time machine. All right. And we're all the way back. So before, again, every single hustler has their own origin story. So I'll start with you, Jessica, first. Before Kinabuhi, walk me through your first few hustles that you remember. And was there someone that helped you get exposed to hustling that left an indelible mark to you?
Yeah, so I mean, I think my journey really started when I worked as a textile and apparel designer for the social
Mm.
enterprise called Anthill Fabric Gallery, which is also a Cebu-based social enterprise. So I actually
Wow.
worked there for, I believe it was close to 5 years, and I feel a lot of my work and I guess all the sort of decisions that I've made and how to start a business also came from my experience from working at Anthill.
Right.
So Anya, the founder, is someone I really admire. And yeah, and a lot of the programs that they created at Anthill were things that I had the opportunity to really participate in and contribute to. So yeah, so in other words, I was able to sort of test the waters while working for Anthill, and I am now implementing a lot of that stuff that I learned at Kinabuhi as well. After working for Anthill, I actually did a master's in fashion entrepreneurship and innovation at the London College of Fashion.
What? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I did it with the support of the Chevening Scholarship. So it was a fully funded scholarship, which was amazing because that
yes.
school is super expensive.
Yes.
But during that time, I felt that's when I really, in a way, ironed out like what I wanted to do for my business. Like, I'll
Mhm.
be honest, I'm a very practical and cautious person. I
Okay.
think I never really considered myself an entrepreneur in the beginning. I really thought myself to be a designer and researcher because that was what I was really passionate about. But I
Mhm.
realized that if I wanted to create the impact I wanted, I
Mhm.
also had to start something on my own. And that was the reason why I decided to get a master's in entrepreneurship, is to kind of, get the right kind of skills to run the business
Mhm.
as professionally as possible.
Mhm.
And After doing my master's, I actually started another business called Damgo, which is a textile design studio. So I'm very passionate about weaving in particular. I actually have a hand loom at home and I weave for fun, but I also weave for
Wow.
work.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm definitely extremely hands-on when it comes to creating the products.
Right.
So I did start Damgo because I wanted to be able to create like these upcycled and Philippine natural fiber textiles for other brands.
Okay.
But then it was quite difficult to do because there wasn't a huge market for it locally. Like the cost of the fabrics were obviously very expensive because
Mm.
sourcing the materials were challenging, and obviously handwoven fabrics take a long time to make. And
Oh.
we do our best to make sure that we're paying our workers at like living wages or above the standard minimum wage. So we're doing everything correctly, but that also means that our products are extremely expensive. So it didn't really make good business sense. I still have them go on the side to support brands with doing research and things like that. But now I've decided to shift to Kinabuhi because I realized that that direct to consumer is actually a much better enterprise or much better sort of business because there are quite a lot of people actually that are passionate about sustainability, especially like Gen Z, millennials, and and the opportunity to join trade fairs like Artefino or Maarte are, a great way to reach these customers. And
Yep.
in the last 2 years that we've been running Kinabuhi, we found quite a lot of success through these sales channels. So it definitely is a lot more financially viable. But I'm not giving up on the whole textile business because I think that fashion brands are changing slowly but surely. And I think we will find ways to produce more efficiently as well, which means that we can hopefully make these fabrics available to more brands. And it doesn't have to be just local brands as well. We're looking at working with international brands too. And I didn't get to mention, but you were asking what my hustles were. I have multiple hustles. So
Okay.
this brand is a side hustle for me because I actually have a
Wow.
job working as a sustainability ratings analyst for Good on You, which is a globally recognized sustainability ratings platform. So we rate brands, specifically fashion and beauty brands, on their sustainability performance. So like across people, planet, and animals.
You're like the
So
Rotten
that's my main
Tomatoes
thing.
for
Yes,
sustainability
correct.
brands. Okay, that's amazing. Oh yeah,
So yeah,
don't you dare mess up with them because they will give you a bad rating. Just kidding. But one last
yeah.
question before we talk about the multiple hustles of Nikki, and I'm very, very curious of. So I love that you share that you honed your skills working for a brand first before you took it on your own. But and this is one thing about entrepreneurship that a lot of young founders sometimes forget, that if you don't have conviction or if you haven't built a solid skill stack yet, there's nothing wrong by being paid with getting paid and training under somebody else in order to build conviction and also experience for you to be able to do it on your own. But what were those skills that you remember accumulating in your first few hustles, especially when you were working for I forgot the name, Anya, Anthill. There you go,
Yeah.
Anthill. That you learned and you still carry with you today.
I think there are multiple things. I think the finance side of things, like realizing like the importance of costing and working out a pricing
Yes.
that is reasonable for the consumer. I think before coming into Anthill, obviously I was just a designer and I wanted to create whatever I wanted. But
Yep.
it was only when I was working there when I realized, oh, I have to change the design to match what the market wants and what pricing makes sense. So that was a big thing for me, is the doing costing and also understanding what the market wants. And obviously Anthill's market's quite similar to ours. So it allowed me to understand better, what exactly are these consumers interested in? Like what kind of products do they want to buy? What sells well, what doesn't? So I think that was a very big thing. And obviously I think it's the exposure to the communities, because when I was working there, I visited quite a lot of artisan communities, not just the one that I work with now. So all across the Philippines, and understanding the complexities of working with these types of small craft-based enterprises is something that I think was super crucial to the success of Kinabuhi, because you don't expect some of the challenge. Like if you've never worked with an artisan community before, you might be surprised with all the challenges that might come up. So I think working for a social enterprise that was doing that allowed me to, I guess, learn how it works and also make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. Because there are a lot of things that had happened, obviously, over the years when I was working for Anthill. So yeah, I think for me, it's really that. It's like actually doing the work and then learning from it, like while I'm working.
Yeah, and the risks are not that high because you're not the one paying payroll. Right. Diba?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Nikki. Nikki, I want to understand your origin story. So again, you're a multi-hyphenate, 3 companies as I can remember when you introduced, but what's the origin story? What's the who got behind Nikki that I want to understand? And what was the first few hustles you remember doing?
Honestly, even way back when I was a kid, I was trying to sell anything I can get my hands on.
Okay.
So as far as I can remember, it started when I was in probably grade school. I started selling cookies in school.
Uy,
I don't know
sarap.
why.
Okay.
There's just wanted to
I'm
share.
hungry. Okay.
Imagine that. No?
Mhm.
I was super young. Maybe I was very entrepreneurial even back then. So I
Mhm.
started selling cookies, and then after that, I would sell. When I entered high school, I remember I sold clothes. Like there was a distributor from Zara. Like what do you call that? I don't know what it's called. Maybe
Surplus. Mm.
surplus. Yeah.
Mm.
And then, yeah, I sold it to my classmates. And my course when I got into college was entrepreneurship with a minor in culinary arts to take up fashion design, actually. But my parents
Wow.
were like, no, you should go to culinary, you should take it and then go abroad and then
Okay.
establish a career there. I'm like, oh, fine, I'll just follow my parents. So, yeah, I took
Okay.
up culinary arts, and of course because it was an entrepreneurship course, I needed to set up a business. So
Mm.
it was really ingrained in me when it comes to like costing, marketing, all the things that you can imagine would be needed by a business. I'm really exposed to it even back then. But starting a business from scratch when we were in college back then, of course, you
Mm.
needed funding, and definitely we got from our parents, and then we started this little stall called Patata Loca. So we sold potato balls with dips.
Mm.
And then we set it up in a school, and then we run it for a couple of months. And by the end of the program, we had to liquidate it, of course, because we
Look,
couldn't
wait. Sorry,
on it.
that is amazing. You're speaking to the choir here. I'm looking at your LinkedIn and your MC.
You're
Okay.
in college, yes.
Yep. My batch was also '06 to 2010. I was in from UST.
Oh,
Were
really?
you part of ENEDA? ENEDA. So I know some of two professors from MC because there's this group called Entrepreneurship Educators Association, and I remember going to MC a couple times, or a bunch of
Okay.
weirdos from UST, and Ma'am Garch ba?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
I met,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, you
the
remember.
guy who had a look Spanish. He looks like a Spanish friar.
Can't remember, but
It's a
yeah.
guy. Basta yun. He's a guy. But
I
yeah,
don't want to talk about my batch, but yeah, I was there during that time probably.
yes. No, it's like this is again in. I took up entrepreneurship as well in UST.
Really? In
Yes,
UST?
so
Right.
exactly the same thing that you did, where we have to
Uh-huh.
put up a business and liquidate it at the end. It didn't make sense. Hindsight being 2020, why are you creating a business to liquidate it? Like, what the hell? If you have a good business, go on, right? And that's what I did.
Right?
Mhm. And sorry, this is personal to me because with Eneda,
Mm-hmm.
I was sent to Bohol. The org was named YES or Yes, Young Entrepreneur Society.
Okay.
Across all these schools. We were sent to Bohol. I met a woman there from Lasal Dasma, also
Mm.
taking up entrepreneurship. This is '09. Love at first sight. Hindsight being 2020, she's now my wife. Girl of
Wow.
my
Oh
dreams.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
so I had to. I had,
Beautiful story. Wow, I didn't expect that. I was thinking, oh, he's gonna put up a business or whatever.
no, I
Okay,
met
you got
my
your wife.
wife
Very
through
interesting.
entrepreneurship. She also took up entrepreneurship.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Good
sorry.
story.
There's love in entrepreneurship. That's
Ah.
the That's the moral of the story. Sorry, I had to share that story because it's always beautiful.
Oh, no, that's cute. So
Oh,
I
she's
also met my husband back in college, but just as a friend.
oh yeah. There you go.
Wow, I'm so
This becomes a love podcast all of a
maybe
sudden.
you
Sorry,
should
we're
change it,
pivoting.
not Hustleshare anymore.
Lover share. Okay, no, but
Oh
okay.
yeah.
So
Okay, so
again,
go.
entrepreneurship. You
Mhm.
you do this, and sorry,
Yeah.
my experience in college was weird. I didn't really learn much in terms of how to do this. I had to learn and get the necessary stuff because the business I put up back then was a tech startup. Nobody knew what a tech startup was in 2008, 2009, right? So I had to look for that. But for you, it looked like it worked. But after that education, what were the things that you started building on? Because if it's ingrained in you that you wanted to be an entrepreneur, what was the next steps?
Well, of course, when I graduated, given that I really wanted to take up fashion design, I joined Store Specialist Inc. I'm not sure if you're
SSI, okay.
fans. So I
Wow.
handled
You're
the
always formada because you can't go to the office and you don't look good.
well, you know
Okay.
why? people from SSI
No,
too.
my wife's client is SSI.
Ah,
Yeah.
wow. Interesting. Oh, such a
Yeah.
small world. Okay, so I
Mhm.
joined the brand there. Of course, I needed to work corporate for corporate. Like I needed to learn skills. So I was a merchandiser and my role was to check the stores, make sure they have enough inventory,
Mhm.
make sure they follow all the guidelines from the principals. And yeah, I stayed there for like around 6 years and then
Wow.
I
Jupiter. Always in Jupiter Street, Makati. Ayan.
oh, yes.
Mhm.
And then I joined Lacoste accessories. And then, of course, I'd travel. I'd go to different fashion shows. It was super fun. I enjoyed it. But I had this inkling that it's not always what I should end up doing.
Yep.
Like, wanted to learn more because if you're just a merchandiser, you're a buyer, you'll
Yep.
focus on that. You'll just continue like doing spreadsheets, coming up with forecasts, etc., etc. I
Mhm.
learned a lot of skills from there. It's very, very important to like understand how you're going to forecast the products that you're carrying. So those were the main skills that I got from SSI. And then after that, I joined real estate for a while.
Mm.
For some reason, I wanted to learn a lot of things. So I got my license and then I tried selling condos. And like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can get more money from this. Course, you were young. Like,
Yep.
my goal was to earn enough so I could buy my own properties.
Got
For
it.
some reason, that was me. It ended up I was only able to sell like a property to my then boyfriend. He was very supportive. I'm gonna buy whatever you sell. So when I was in SSI, I would sell him all the Lacoste shirts, all the Lacoste bags, all the Lacoste shoes.
Wow.
I also got my own stuff.
Way to show off. Okay.
Yeah, so when I joined real estate, I'm like, oh, you buy a property so I can join like the trip. Because if you're not able to sell anything, you won't be able to join the trip in Thailand. So I'm like, oh my God, I need to sell now. So you buy from now. Yeah, so he was supportive. He got a lot. And then after that, I realized it's not as sustainable being a real estate broker. For me, it's not like my line of work in some way. So
Yeah.
I joined a brand called Grohe. It's a sanitary systems company.
Mm.
And there I was a brand manager and I hosted a lot of different events. Same as the work I had in SSI. Of course, I
Yep.
handled the forecasting, all the trainings for our sales team, the distribution channels, and that's what really exposed me to doing B2B. And I also got to visit their factory. And one of the things that triggered me there is how they manage the raw materials that they're using for the faucets. You're familiar with Grohe. I'm not sure if you're
Yep.
familiar.
Yep.
They have the faucets, they have the toilets, they have the shower systems,
Right.
etc. It's very interesting because
And I
they
know it's social when you have a grohe sink. Ayan.
for some reason I'm very judgmental. Like when I visit a hotel and if I see a grohe, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy my God here. Lol.
Yep. Exactly.
But anyway, so
Mhm.
what got me there, what was very interesting was they recycled like around 80% of the raw materials that they're using at the factory.
Oh.
Like, wow, that's very interesting. I wonder if we also do this thing in the Philippines. Like, I was very interested with the factories, like the way they handle all the raw materials that they're using, all
Yeah.
the processes that they have, all the machines. So I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, very interesting. And then after that, eventually it got a bit toxic for me. And then it pushed me for some reason to start my own business because I'm like, I don't want to work for corporate anymore. I
Yeah.
confident. I'm like, hey boyfriend, I want to put up my, my own business. Maybe you can support me. No, I was so dependent.
Goes
I'm
through
so
him na
sorry.
naman. What
No,
the?
but of course I have my own savings. So
Okay.
I'm like, are you game? Are you gonna support me? Because he was taking his MBA in Tokyo. And
Okay.
during that time I was like, I'm very confused. Like I really felt this push that you have to start something. Or I was like sort of soul searching. So
Yeah.
I created this sideline. So during weekends, I would bake. During my time back then when I was still working, I would bake. And then I joined the bazaar and then they said, oh, you're not supposed to use plastics during the bazaar. And then they imposed it to all the merchants who
Sounds
joined.
like good trade.
No, it was in Ayala, in an Ayala
Okay.
village in QC. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I took it seriously
Mhm.
because I used to surf also. I used to travel a lot and I'm exposed to like the plastic pollution condition in the Philippines. So it
Yeah.
was really bothering me and that we couldn't do anything about it. So anyway, when they demanded that we're not supposed to use plastics, that's what got me to thinking, okay, I'll look for sustainable packaging materials in the Philippines. In the Philippines, I was back in 2018. Then I went to a lot of different supermarkets. The ones that they're selling, it's always mixed with plastic. They would say it's biodegradable, it's green packaging. But if you look at the materials, because I'm very particular with it, I'm exposed to that. Like I would always read the labels, the composition, etc. It would say 50% plant-based, 50% plastic. I'm like, hey, it's defeating the purpose. It's still plastic. That's so
Right.
confusing. And then yeah, I researched online. I also told my boyfriend, and then he was like, there are a lot of compostable packaging, like let's say in Indonesia, in China, etc. And then I was wondering, how come we don't have it here in the Philippines? Like that's so frustrating. We're the ones who need like sustainable alternatives,
Correct.
right? Because we have a really bad plastic pollution problem here.
Yep.
And then, yeah, so that was when I generated the idea to put up a one stop shop for entrepreneurs like me, for business owners to source truly eco friendly packaging materials. So
Love
I
it.
was working back then. I drew on a post-it note like our logo, what I
Right.
wanted the logo to look like. And then yeah, so that was how it all started. Like I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I eventually resigned, and then I started importing like all the containers, the sugarcane containers, all the cassava bags. And luckily enough, fortunately enough, we're able to grow the business. So right now we're distributing almost more than around 20 million pieces all over the Philippines. We've
Wow.
exported some, very minimal, of the cassava bags because eventually we put up our own factory. It was based here in Marilao, but we had to transfer. So yeah, I'm eyeing Cebu in the near
There
future.
you go. You have a
Hopefully,
friend.
plus I know we can work together.
There you go. Now that's amazing, and I love how you guys talked about your own itch, the entrepreneurial itch, because it all starts with that, right? I mean, a lot of people and majority of the people that work in life are absolutely okay. Sometimes it's a shitty situation, sometimes it's a great situation, but they stick it through because of the salary, and that's what we're taught. But once you have the entrepreneurial itch, it's inevitable. You will eventually scratch it, and when you scratch it, there's no
Turning.
turning back. All right, now let's take our first break, and when we come back, we will now talk about your early hustles and struggles putting up both your startups. We'll talk about that more after the break. Hey hustlers, are you tired of bank transfer fees and low interest rates on your savings? Say hello to GoTime Bank. GoTime Bank offers interest rates 50x higher than traditional banks. Enjoy this rate on your savings. No minimum amount, no deposit caps, and no tasks or missions to complete. With GoTime Bank, you can make quick and secure transfers to other banks with 3 bank transfers per week. Plus, earn Go Rewards points and redeem them as cash with a simple tap in the GoTime Bank app. Experience the next level of banking with GoTime Bank. Download the app now or visit www.gotime.com.ph to experience next level banking. It's GoTime! Hey hustlers, PayMongo is your payment gateway for business growth. With PayMongo, you can accept online payments from your customers through Visa and MasterCard, debit and credit cards, GCash, Maya, GrabPay, online banking, BNPL, installments, and many more. All with just one platform. For business owners, online payment collection used to be such a pain. Long negotiations and paperwork, complex developer docs, and having to gather all these proofs of payment from your customers would be a serious drag in your operations. Now, with just one partner, you can simplify all of that and focus on growing your business. PayMongo's story showcases the resilience of Filipino businesses in today's digital economy. During the pandemic, they became a lifeline to countless businesses by helping them go online quickly, serve their customers, and generate revenue. They have since grown exponentially and now support thousands of businesses from SMEs to venture-backed startups and even the most established enterprises in the country. PayMongo's products allow you to accept all types of payments with or without a website, and they continue to expand into more streamlined financial services. So sign up for free today. Visit paymongo.com to get your business activated in 1 week or less. And we're back with a break. We are still with Nikki and Jessica that told us the amazing hustle stories of these multi-hyphenate ladies who doesn't like to sticking to just one thing. They're doing so many things at the same time. But I want to understand first a couple things, especially on how you started out, because every single founder, I don't care how much you think you're ready. There's so once you start jumping into the cliff in terms of entrepreneurship, you'll realize how not ready you are. And there are so many things that you don't know. I want to understand the first struggles you guys had to go through that you thought you're ready for, but oh my God, it hit you in the face and the plan that you thought you had did not work. Jessica.
I guess, because I create handcrafted
Yep.
products and quality is often a challenge when it comes to making anything by hand. So I
Mm.
think one of the biggest struggles we had was dealing with the quality issues, particularly with garment production. I think we've done a really great job at improving quality in the handloom weaving community. And that's also thanks to the work I was doing at Anthill, because I was working with the same community even when I was working at Anthill. So we really developed like a wonderful like system for quality control. But like for garment production in particular, it is extremely difficult. And because we're a small brand, we don't have, we don't have the capacity to buy like large quantities from a very professional factory. We make hand woven fabrics in low quantities. So when we manufacture the clothing, that means they also come in low quantities. And we use upcycled materials, which means we can only make 5 pieces
Yep.
per color instead of like 50 pieces per color. And that doesn't really work with like a large scale like factory setup. So we work with small scale tailors, sewers, and things like that. But that also
Mhm.
means that they don't necessarily have the systems in place to ensure that, all the specifications are followed properly, the fabric's cut in the right way, that the quality is perfect at the end. They don't
Mhm.
have like quality assurance in place and stuff. So I think we lost a lot of money as a
Woo!
result of like
That hurts.
low quality
Mhm.
products. Like, because sometimes if it's already sewn and you can't fix it, that's the end of it.
Right.
We can't sell it. And that's something that we still struggle with. I think we have improved over the years and have found some partners that are definitely a lot more high quality. They
Mhm.
also cost more though, which
Yikes.
means that our
Mhm.
products cost more. So yeah, I think for me that's the biggest. And obviously raising funding as well. I mean,
Ah.
actually, our brand is self funded. So
Yeah.
my savings I put into the brand. I struggle a lot with the idea of asking for funding from an investor. So it's something that I'm still trying to work out. Right now, I'm only asking for money from friends and family because I'm so hesitant to like
Mhm.
give a portion of my company away to an investor. Right? So it's
Mhm.
something that with that, I think that means that we aren't able to invest in like the production
Yeah.
efficiency. We currently don't have like a full-time team that's doing sewing for us, so that means that without the money we can't really do all of that. But yeah, so I think one of the biggest struggles is that, plus the fact that I have a full-time job, so I haven't given it up.
Yeah.
So that means my time is very, very limited.
Right.
So I can only do so much, right?
Mhm.
So yeah. And I think right now the market for sustainable products in the Philippines is still quite small. So
Mhm.
that means that I'm still struggling to work out whether or not I can give up my full-time job to do this business because
Mhm.
it doesn't really make financial sense right now. Like I'm not
Mhm.
certain that we can make a certain amount of sales or profit within a certain year to actually make it make sense that I'm going to do that for my full-time job. Um, and yeah, I think it's also because we're working with specific products that I would say, are probably more high end. We have a very targeted market, which means that we can only sell in certain places at certain
Mhm.
times to certain people. And that can be super limiting. So yeah, I feel like that's something that we need to work out still.
Oh, for sure. But
But yeah.
I'm sure Villgro is there to help you out and walk you through, because the beauty about this is that you're not the only entrepreneur that goes through this. Every one of us goes through quality problems, money problems, technically, cash flow, everything. Dude, this is our whole DNA. We eat this for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and midnight snack. That's our life. That's why whenever people like, I'll just go on a tangent a little bit. Whenever all these entrepreneur CEOs that like to flex, all their fucking cars, all these whatever. I'm like, that is not what entrepreneurship is, right? That is not what real entrepreneurship is, because I'm pretty sure you guys know this. Leaders eat last, right?
Yeah.
We eat last. There are a lot of days where, man, every work payroll is our biggest anxiety driver. Two times a month, right? Right. And for those people who just like, hey, I have these Rolex, I have these cars. That is not what entrepreneurship is. Because entrepreneurship is real sacrifice, and you have to have high conviction and a high tolerance for risk and pain in order for you to even see it through. So totally agree, but I'm happy that you share that, and thank you for sharing it, because this ain't easy. And Nikki, how about you? What were the struggles? You were nodding back and forth. I
I
know
can't
that.
count it anymore. Eh. And every day, what's our issue today? Let me eat that up.
Yeah,
Um,
or the struggles for EcoNest.
it's a lot. It's a
Mm.
lot, actually.
It's a lot. You know,
But
figure it out. Okay.
back in the old days, when I started the business, one of the major challenges that I encountered was pricing the product. I thought
Mm.
it was something that I'm good at already because I priced a lot of SKUs already when
In
I was
SSI.
in
Ayan.
SI in Grohe. I'm like, oh, this
Mm.
is easy. I'll just compute it, whatever.
Okay.
But then I realized I really have to understand the market and how I'm going to position the brand and the product. And I was like, oh shit, imagine. Sorry, to face it. It took me months
Yeah.
and a lot of tears actually because I don't know how to price sustainable packaging properly. I was like,
Yeah.
what should be the margins? What should be
Yeah.
our target? So yeah, it was back then when I started. That was a major challenge for me. I consulted a lot of people. I consulted my dad. I consulted my ex boss. I consulted everybody, and I'm
How
like,
about your Joa? He was there the
I
whole
go
time.
on.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just there, but no,
Okay.
no. Just give me the money. Just kidding. But I was sorry. I was very fortunate. He was able to support me, like, in terms of the funding that I needed during that time. I'm
Mm.
very, very thankful. Up until it got to a point when we had to purchase the machines.
Mm.
So it was, I would always like check the reels and I would always check YouTube about like
Mm.
investors. You can get money from your friends and those people who believe in you. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to try that. And then my partner was telling me, no, it's better that we use our own funding, our own money instead of dealing with a lot of different people, a lot of different
Mm.
investors. But I was very stubborn. I wanted to experience it. Like, I want to get my own investors. It's super nice, like Shark Tank and all. Girl, fortunately enough, the investors that we got for Ako Packaging, which is our bioplastic manufacturing company, they were also our clients. They really believed in what
Nice.
we're doing, and of course, one of our major partners is involved in plastic manufacturing, so he really had the know-how on how to set up the factory and everything. Uh,
Nice.
it's still, of course, until now, a struggle to be able to develop the market, as Jessica mentioned. It's still a baby. But
Yeah.
at this point, I
Mhm.
mean, in terms of market share, we're definitely below still 5% in the whole packaging
Right.
industry. But I need to carry through. Like, there's
Yes.
nothing up. I'm the type of person when I decide that I'm going to pursue this, I really like see it through. So not giving up on anything. The reason why I'm establishing the factory in Cebu is because we want to utilize local resources in the Philippines. I'm not sure if you also know about the manufacturing industry. Majority of the products that we're using here in the Philippines are mostly imported. Very
Yes.
little that we get from our local farmers, that we get from our local resources, and it's a huge gap. Imagine
Correct.
we are doing a lot of R&D, especially when it comes to bioplastics, or any kind of innovation here in the Philippines. We're doing a lot,
Yeah.
but doesn't get to the market. So I'm like, that's so frustrating.
Yep.
The reason why EcoNest also, we want to focus on marketing and distribution so that if there's any new innovation that you can produce commercially, we can distribute it for you. So that's my
Mhm.
for EcoNest. That's why I separated the brand so it can just focus on that because we already have some distributors. I mean, it's not that big. We just have
Mhm.
some distributors all over the Philippines. We have some contacts in the US and Canada, etc. It's something that we can further develop. So that's my plan in the future. But I really want to support the local industries, the local manufacturing companies. So I want to utilize our natural resources, like in Cebu, seaweed or cassava, or like
Danggit. Just kidding.
maybe. See, but thing is, majority of the manufacturers here, they want to export because they're the ones who can afford like
Right.
the pricing. A lot of things that I can't address by myself.
Mhm.
So still a lot of challenges, but it's fine. I mean, we eat challenges for breakfast.
Totally. Totally. And I love the story that you took, because again, it's never easy. In entrepreneurship, overnight successes are technically a 10-year story. And success is an iceberg. People always see the accolades, the flexes on whatever shit you're flexing on LinkedIn or Facebook. What they don't realize is how hard it is and how the odds are so much against you. Because out of 10 tries, probably nine tries are
Ah,
flops,
yes,
right?
true.
But I want to ask you this, that before we take our last break. Because again, entrepreneurship, if you really pursue it and you have the heart for it, because a lot of it is irrational. Right? There are a lot of days like, why the hell am I doing this? I'm losing money. I'm struggling. I'm stressed the hell out. But out of those 10 days, nines are shit. Nine days are shit. But there's the one day that heals all the pain away and all the sarap and satisfaction comes through. Let's talk about that. I want to understand what keeps you going. What is that utter satisfaction that you get out of your company, that despite the 9 days of struggle and pain and suffering that you go through, what were those experiences that you remember, that when everything clicks, all the stars align and everything's beautiful? Walk me through that, because that's what keeps us going. Jessica, I want to find your answer here.
Yeah, I'm a very impact driven person. So I think I feel like I can't do a job that I can't like visibly see that I'm making a positive change in the community. So I think
Mhm.
that's my biggest driver. And why I'm still doing this, even though it doesn't make sense sometimes. But it's because whenever when I work with the artisans and they tell me how much of a difference our business is making in their lives, like, oh, they say, Mom, akong anak, or like my kid can finally go to college, or because of all the work
Mm.
that we're doing, they can finally, afford to buy a refrigerator or a
Right.
washing machine or something,
Right.
like it might seem so simple, but it's a
Yeah.
big deal, for them. So I think, for me, that's what keeps me going, is knowing that
Mhm.
the work that we're doing is super important to the artisans that we work with. And,
Mhm.
and I feel like there's so much injustice in the fashion supply chain. And I just feel this huge urge in me to like fix it.
Yeah.
And because I have plans for Kinabuhi to not just be a retail fashion brand. Our goal is to ultimately transition into helping other businesses do something similar within their context. So, it in a way we're testing things out for
Mhm.
people. And if it works, we can implement it for others so we can scale that impact, right?
Mhm.
And make the change that is needed in the industry.
Mhm.
Because it's just like for example, like with Philippine cotton,
Mhm.
I only learned recently how little the cotton farmers were making, like absolute poverty wages. And it
Wow.
just, and knowing that or having that information available to me is what's pushing me to like, okay, I need to set up a project to buy direct from the farmers so that they can at least make a minimum wage. Like a minimum wage is still something that seems so, unattainable for them, which is
Wow.
insane for me, right? So I think, yeah, like I would like to, little by little sort of fix the injustices within the fashion supply chain, and hopefully encourage other businesses to do the same, right?
Mhm.
Like I think I'm a very future facing person, and if you have kids, or even if you don't have kids and you just care about the next generation,
Yeah.
like I think you have to do this, like,
Absolutely.
like I don't understand how people can sit back and be like, okay, we'll just let it happen. Let's just let the world
Yeah.
Does the world die? And I'm like, no, I don't believe in that. And, that's why I do this and why I'm very intentional in the work I do and where I spend my time. And it's all
Mm-hmm.
working towards this sort of bigger goal, something bigger
Mm-hmm.
than myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jessica. Now, how about you, Nikki? Where does the sarap come from? Despite all the hustles and struggles of us, this uphill climb that we do in entrepreneurship, talk to me about the satisfaction or the gratification that you get from doing EcoNest.
On my end, definitely impact and advocacy is always part of it.
Mm.
It's a given, essentially, when
Mhm.
start businesses or any new venture. But aside from that, right now it's also sort of a challenge for me. It's a matter of like finding equilibrium or balancing out like the effort that I give in all the businesses and at the same time being kinder to myself and loving myself better.
Yeah.
So it's like a journey of getting to know myself and understanding myself so that I could like share a part of me that would be able to contribute for the better of like the businesses, the community that we're building. uh so probably that kind of gratification in terms of having the freedom to be able to balance it in my own way, in my
Yeah.
own time. But definitely it can be applied like for example in corporate or wherever. It's like really trying to have the right mindset and being positive.
Oh, totally agree. And
So
again, I
that's
love
where
what
I
you.
get my motivation and gratification, like having that kind of perspective just now. Because
No,
imagine I struggled for the last 5, 6 years, 7 years.
yep. No, I absolutely agree. And this is you're absolutely right because you have to be irrationally optimistic. Because if you have to find ways to motivate yourself despite all the bullshit
Right.
that happens. Because if not,
Right.
it's so easy to get to drown in the stress and the sorrow that comes with it.
Mm, mm, mm.
And again, it has to be irrational because if it's rational, logic will tell you to stop. Easy. First punch pa lang, you're dead. Because it doesn't make sense. But that's also the beauty about having the right community like you guys in Villgro that allow this to happen. But let's take our last break. And when we come back, of course, we'll talk about what Villgro does and how it helps you achieve and do this as a village. But we'll talk about that more after the break. If you're building a climate smart or socially inclusive business, you don't have to do it alone. Villgro Philippines is a gender-smart impact incubator supporting bold entrepreneurs across the Philippines and Southeast Asia who are solving our most urgent problems, from climate change to healthcare access to food security. Through a mix of funding, mentorship, and community, Villgro Philippines helps early-stage founders strengthen their business models, scale their impact, and raise the capital they need. Whether you're an enterprise ready to grow or an ecosystem ally ready to co-invest or collaborate, let's build a better world together. Visit villgrophilippines.org. That's villgrophilippines.org, or reach out at hello@villgrophilippines.org. And we're back from the break. We are still with Jessica and Nikki. Again, I love it when entrepreneurs talk about their struggles. Because again, majority of the time, this is what I don't like seeing in social media. Everybody thinks it's a pissing contest. People only talk about their wins. But in reality, especially in entrepreneurship, there's more struggles, but out of the struggles, there's more learnings. And it usually humbles you. Because if it humbles you, when the success comes and that already comes into the picture, you won't be boasting about it. Eh. It's like, oh man, this feels like justice because the shit you had to go through, this is the payoff. But instead of boasting, you're like, okay. It's internal satisfaction, and that's what I love. Again, this is the fourth episode of us doing Villgro, and I already am a big fan. When Priya came on the show, I became a bigger fan after going through every single founder that I've seen and talked to here in Founders Only. I have nothing but respect because the first of all, the curation of how they chose you and how you were able to do that speaks volumes, because there's a pattern. You all say the same thing at one point. I don't know if it's scripted. Obviously, it's not, because it comes from the heart. But I love how selfless you guys all are despite the odds. And there's an impact to all of the things that you do. But I want to understand first what you get out of the community that Villgro is indelibly helping you guys out of. Because again, the odds are different. We're always saying we're such a small thing out of this big problem that we're solving, but we're fighting the good fight. Nikki, I want to understand from your point of view, what's that like from working with Villgro, and how does Villgro help you out?
From my experience, when we just set up our factory, we joined one of Vilgo's program. It's
Mm,
single-use plastic program. So they gave us funding and of course support on marketing. No,
mm,
and they connected us with businesses who would like to be our first adopters.
mm,
And what's very interesting that time was we're able to connect and build our own branding in the sense that Vilgro was there because they're already known in the market and the community.
yeah,
So it parang gave the confidence for the customer and of course our company, our manufacturing company, to like really pursue this because we're able to come up with cassava bags that they used for their restaurant, for their bake shop.
yep,
So I was like, we were all very happy with it, of course. So
mm.
very, very thankful with the partnership with Belgro. It's like a push that you're doing the right thing because
Yes.
I mean, it's not naman every day, but most of the days it's gonna be very difficult for you. And then suddenly, hey, we want to support you, or you can join this program. So that's what sort of like keeps us going. The
Mm,
support that we get from the community, regardless if it's gonna be funding, if it's a
mm,
nice feedback, if it's a referral from somebody, it really pushes us to like just go through with it.
mm. Sounds
Struggling,
good.
I can feel my struggles. But yeah, so very, very thankful with the partnership and the support that we got.
No, and it speaks volumes because it takes a village. I mean, it's so hard to do it on your own. But if you see other people that are technically out of the same ethos, right? They have the same carved out of the same cloth, pun intended. It makes it feel like I'm not alone. We suffer
Yeah.
together through this whole thing. And but again, you find your tribe and you're now able to leverage because the solutions can be cross-functionally across everyone. And again, just the fact that you belong in a tribe where everybody's technically solving similar problems, it will take multiple efforts from multiple companies to solve such a gargantuan problem. So that's great. How about you, Jessica?
So I'm a part of their Climb Accelerator program currently. And I found it really helpful because I feel like each of the sessions that we've had, I felt like I took something that
Mm,
I immediately adopted into my business.
yep.
So I think they had very practical lessons that they were teaching us. And I felt that the mentor that they had assigned to me as well has been very supportive and
Mhm.
helpful, especially in working out like how to address sort of the financial issues that we're facing.
Mm,
Um, our mentorship program actually led me to exploring the idea of offering a consultancy service, which I briefly mentioned earlier. So I think that might be the ticket to our, financial success and the sustainability of our business over time. So
yep.
I think it was really helpful to get like all this advice because, I'm working alone most of the time. So I don't really know what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
So I think it's really helpful to get some outside, feedback
Mm,
and all the other enterprises in my cohort, pretty amazing and inspiring. So I think being in a room with people that, in a way, are very similar. They're
mhm.
different. Their businesses are different, but they're similar, like in terms of like the struggle and all of that. And it
Right.
feels like it feels, it feels good to be in a place where people kind of get you because I feel
Mm,
like when you're like an entrepreneur, you feel like, people don't really understand the struggles that you're facing. So it was just, yeah, it's nice to be in a group with people that, also don't just care about the money. They also care about like the impact stuff. So there are not many people out there like
nope.
that. So yeah, it's great to be a part of a community like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
This it's few and far between, but again, what I learned from the crypto guys uh of our spectrum is WAGMI. I don't know. You ever heard of WAGMI? WAGMI is an acronym that stands for "We are all gonna make it." WAGMI. There you go. And I think Villgro technically embodies the WAGMI spirit. So again, thank you very much, Jessica and Nikki. But before I let you go, please invite people over if they want to work with you, check out or collaborate with you. Hustleshare always is notorious from making these bridges happen. Where do they go and how do they do that? Jessica.
Yeah, so you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. We're shopkinabuhi.ph. And you can also check out our website, www.kinabuhi.com.
All right, sounds good. Nikki?
Hi, we're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. It's EcoNest PH. You can also visit our website, www.econestph.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, girls. But before I let you go, follow us on whatever podcast app you're listening to with Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Please do subscribe there. If you also see a subscribe button, it allows us to keep creating content that's like this. But if we did say some jargon on any notes or links that you need to check out, please don't pull over while you're driving. You can do it after. You can go check it out at hustleshare.com. And also, just like Villgro, who continues to support Hustleshare doing content like this, if you want to support us and leverage the community that we've been able to do, please do support us at premium.hustleshare.com. Again, Jessica and Nikki, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace. Thank you so much for watching Hustleshare on YouTube. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel to get more content like this. And to get the full audio episodes of Hustleshare and Founders Only, subscribe to our podcasts at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.